Saving for a comfortable retirement can seem like an impossible task. Many people believe you need to have $1 million to $2 million saved to maintain your lifestyle in your retirement years. In theory, if you made $100,000 during your working years, shouldn't you need about $100,000 in retirement too? In this video, I'll show you 3 reasons why you might not need to save nearly as much as you think. Lower taxes, lower expenses, and new sources of income are the big ones. Let's get into it. Okay, imagine a couple is planning to retire at age 65. They're earning $120,000 and $60,000 respectively. Now, they live in Ontario, but that brings their household income to $180,000. Before we continue too far though, just remember that these are mostly ballpark figures in this video, just to illustrate big picture concepts, and you should definitely consult a professional for personalized advice for your situation. But back to my hypothetical couple, let's break down why they might not need to save as much as they think. First, let's talk taxes. Before spending their monthly income, they need to pay income tax, contribute to CPP, employment insurance, and cover any professional or union dues that might be applicable to them. For our couple, these deductions amount to nearly $50,000, leaving them with $130,000 left over. Taxes are a huge expense for most people, but things change in retirement a little bit. Next up is their mortgage payments. With an average payment of $2,000 a month in Canada, if this couple was average, they'd be left with $106,000 if they're still paying off their home. But what if they don't have a mortgage anymore? Well, we'll get to that shortly. Saving for retirement is crucial as well. A common rule of thumb is to save 10% of your income. So for our couple, that's $13,000 annually, leaving them with $93,000 or about $7,750 a month for other expenses. So many people think that they need to replace their pre-tax income, and in this case, it's $180,000 to maintain their lifestyle in retirement. And that's just not true. It's never going to happen. What they really need to do is replace that $7,750 a month, and in retirement, this can be much easier to do than in your working years. Let's keep going and you'll see why. Reason number 1, retirees enjoy fairer tax treatment on their savings. So after 65, you can split up to half of eligible pension income with your spouse. Now this couple doesn't have a pension, and you might not have a pension, and you probably only have RSPs or TFSAs. But when you convert an RSP to a RIF, an RSP is a bucket, a RIF is a bucket with a hole in it. Income that comes from a RIF is considered pension income for tax purposes, so they can actually split that income with each other. So now imagine they withdrew $180,000 from one of their RIFs. All of it is taxable income, but they can split it 50-50, making their taxable income $90,000 each. There's no CPP deductions or EI contributions on retirement income, and now splitting it between 2 people evenly, they'll pay even less tax on the same amount of gross income. Instead of $50,000 in total deductions, they pay around $37,000 in taxes, saving them $13,000. It's quite a bit in taxes. In addition to saving taxes on the top line, retirees get extra tax credits that show up on the bottom line and reduce your taxes owing. The age amount tax credit and the pension income credit can further reduce your tax bill. For most incomes, the age amount can cut taxes by about $16.25 in Ontario. Every province is a little bit different. The pension income credit can save another $400 per person or $800 for our couple. It's not huge money, but it is more money in your pocket. Reason number 2 is that major expenses often disappear in retirement. So we talked about mortgages and things like that. So many retirees pay off their mortgages before retiring. So if you got a 25-year mortgage before the age of 40, it's likely paid off by 65. And in this case, that's about $24,000 annually saved right there. Now, when you start drawing money out of your retirement savings plans when you retire, you're probably going to stop saving for retirement at the same time. It just seems logical, right? So that's another $13,000 that you don't need to account for. And with, say, kids are moving out, you're not commuting as much, you don't have to buy professional clothes, new suits, all that kind of stuff. You probably have more home-cooked meals instead of lunches out. Your expenses can drop quite significantly just for the fact that you're not going into work every day. Finally, reason number 3, you have new income sources like CPP and OAS. Most people misunderstand how much you can actually get from these programs, but if you retire at 65 and qualify for the maximum CPP benefit, you could receive over $16,000 per year from the Canada Pension Plan. So our couple, if they were in that situation, they could get close to $32,000 combined. Once you add in Old Age Security, which currently provides up to $8,500-ish annually, they could receive over $17,000 from Old Age Security. Altogether, that's nearly $49,000 per year from government benefits alone, and all of those increase with inflation every year. So if inflation is 2%, it goes up by 2%. If it's 10%, it goes up by 10%. And that's a significant supplement to your savings. So let's quickly summarize. You don't need to replace your working year's gross income for retirement because you're going to have lower taxes, reduced expenses, and new income sources, which all mean that you might need significantly less than you think, and you could be closer to retirement depending on how much you currently have saved. If you want to know if a 55-year-old couple can retire on $500,000, click